Again, I actually saw this post the other day and I thought it was really interesting. And obviously, as a massive Richmond fan, I want to make a video on it and kind of get your guys' thoughts and opinions on it in the comment section down below, because it's about another player that the Tigers could actually potentially trade for, and one that's a little bit interesting because technically this guy really fits their team and fits what they probably need. Again, it is saying, could Darcy Wilson be a Tiger target? Reports are coming out that Wilson is apparently frustrated with St Kilda. He's been dropped twice this year and subbed out twice. Word is that him and Ross Lyon don't see eye to eye either. This kid was unreal in his first year and is already one of the best runners in the AFL. Could he be a long-term replacement on the wing for Camden McIntosh? Again, I actually like a lot about what I'm hearing here. Again, I think that the Tigers have, and credit to Adam Uze here, because I think a lot of this has actually been Adam Uze and his coaching. I think the Tigers have actually done an insane job at finding players to play on the wing. And what I mean by that is that in 2020, probably to 2022, even earlier than that, 2017 and 2022, Richmond had the best wings in the competition. Again, it's one of the reasons they were able to win 3 flags, is because they had so many elite players play on the wing in that time. Again, Kane Lambert on the wing, how he didn't make an All-Australian is insane. Shane Edwards played a lot of wing time here and there, who was an All-Australian. Brandon Ellis was a really good wing as well for the Tigers. Again, Marlon Pickett ended up winning a couple flags on the wing. Josh Caddy, how he wasn't an All-Australian his time as well. He played on the wing in 2019. Again, the Tigers had a bunch of wings, and I'm probably even forgetting a couple guys just off the top of my head. But once like 2023, and of course Camden McIntosh, the guy who was probably on the wing the most. Again, once 2023 came around, the Tigers' wings just started to regress really badly. McIntosh regressed a lot as a player. Marlon Pickett regressed a lot as a player. And then you went into 2024 and the Tigers just flat out didn't have any wings. Like, we were seeing all different types of guys play on there. Again, towards the end of the season, it kind of became Shugo Ralph-Smith and Jack Ross. And that was much better than the start of the year, where it was like Marlon Pickett, Camden McIntosh, and whoever the hell else they would throw on the wings. They didn't have anyone else. Again, they've also built on that even more in 2025 now. Again, Shugo Ralph-Smith has looked pretty good on the wing. Ross has played a lot of wing time. Thompson Dow actually got moved to the wing and was playing the best footy of his career. Luke Traynor is now playing on the wing as well, and again, won the Rising Star on the wing, looking really good. And then Camden McIntosh is actually back on the wing again and playing much better footy than what he was last year, and I think even the year before that. So the Tigers have really retooled their wings, and I think a lot of that is because of Adam Uze. Again, there are rumors they're still going to be looking to hit the draft to maybe try and bring in a new wing, but we could have a new wing here through the trade period, especially if Darcy Wilson is not too keen on St Kilda and too keen on Ross Lyon. Again, I don't know where Darcy Wilson and what his career is going to look like in the AFL. Again, he played mostly forward last year and moved towards the wing, I think, towards the end of the season. Has played a lot of wing this year. I think he's even chipped into the inside midfield. But he honestly hasn't looked that great. There's been a lot of issues, and I don't think he's been able to show exactly everything that he can do. Again, I do find it a bit strange, though, a second-year player having issues with his coach and not seeing eye to eye with his coach. That is never a good sign, and most of the time it's not the coach's fault. Again, 90% of the time it's because the player is really inexperienced and just really disagreeing. He was most likely a hot shot in his under 18s, coming in and not too happy with the coach and how his new position may be, how his new role has been. Again, we've all seen it before. It's happened for generations with players. Again, usually the players work it out with the coaches, but sometimes they don't. And unfortunately, sometimes it shows a lack of maturity in the players and a lack of discipline. But then there is that 10% time where the coach might be in the wrong. Again, Ross Lyon is a very, very big old school coach, and maybe some of the newer boys, who are much younger, don't like the way his old school, ways operate, and don't understand it and don't feel it and don't agree with it. Again, that could be the reality of things. And I think if Richmond see that Darcy Wilson is in that 10% where maybe he's just a new school kind of player, he likes a more nicer and calm coach, which Adam Muse is, rather than an angry, hot shot, or more old-fashioned probably Ross Lyon, then maybe the Tigers should look at him. But if it's in the 90%, which it probably will be, if this guy is just not pulling his head in and disagreeing with the coach because the coach wants him to do things he's not completely comfortable with, then it's a tough one. And sometimes that shows lack of discipline, sometimes that shows a lack of maturity, and that could be what is happening to Darcy Wilson right now. It's also like, it's very early to make a call on Darcy Wilson because St Kilda selected him, I believe, as a first-round pick, and they will see him as a first-round pick and know he's going to be a very good player probably in the future, while Richmond are probably sitting there thinking, hold on a second, he's not getting a game, he's not what you thought he was probably going to be, he's having disagreements with the coach or whatever, we want him for a second-round pick, and then that's where there's going to be issues, and St Kilda are going to be like, no, Richmond are going to be saying no, and then it's just going to be a whole issue. And that's one of the big things about trading for second-year players, and the players who have the second-year blues, is that the teams who want him will argue, hey, he's not playing that good, let's get him for cheap, and the teams who, who have him, who don't, particularly want to see him leave for cheap, are going to say, look, he is only in his second year, what are you talking about? And it just becomes a merry-go-round of, let's do this, let's do that. So there's a lot of ifs and buts in all of this. I don't see this happening personally. I think Darcy Wilson will stay at the Saints. He will have to see eye to eye with Ross Lyon soon enough, or his career will slowly dwindle out or fiddle out, I should say, and won't be the player he probably could have been. So he's going to definitely have to factor that in mind. And yeah, at the end of the day, this is one of those situations where we don't truly know the ifs and buts about what's happening behind the scene. But I actually think, to be honest, Darcy Wilson would be a very good fit for Richmond. Like, the reality is that they need some speed. They probably need a wing. They may even need another guy to play forward. Steely Green's probably not it. I don't know how big of a fan I am of Ryan Mansell. All of the above. And if Darcy Wilson wants to look to go on the inside, Richmond needs some speed in the inside midfield as well. Yeah, there could be a lot of really good things for Darcy Wilson to look at here, but also a lot of good things for Richmond to look at here. So yeah, I'm interrupting this video right now because, as some of you guys might have seen, the rumors are true. I did in fact drop 29 points in A-grade basketball the other night. Again, am I the next Steph Curry like some people are saying? Maybe. Am I the next Kyle Korver like some people are saying? Yeah, I'm literally him. I wouldn't be surprised, guys, if I abandon this YouTube channel over the next, year and just go on and make the NBA. Again, if you don't believe me and these pictures aren't proof enough of me holding a sign that says 29 points, there are freaking highlights of me doing this shit, which we're gonna react to together. So without further ado, let's get straight into my 29-point game highlights. What the hell am I doing, bro? This is just a local basketball game for fun. Why am I putting this shit on YouTube? Fuck it. Bro, I literally titled this video Jordan Beecroft highlights. I should have called it center half bench highlights, but here we are again. I mean, we were playing the team that is last on the ladder, and they were missing their two best players, so I just decided, because of that fact, I was going to turn into prime Steph Curry. So obviously I wear number 7. There's me running around the right side. Again, just completely open. The boy's just hitting me up. Look at that shit. Look at that shit go in, bro. That is absolutely crazy behavior. Again, my boy Josh blocking it to my mate Doltz. And watch this pass by Doltz just quietly. No looker. Flick to the side. I just set myself in position and I bang that shit like I would bang Sydney Sweeney if I had the opportunity. This pass by my friend Jack, I completely brick it, but it somehow bounced. Look at this shit. It bounces off my friend Doltz's freaking chest into me. He just lets it roll, and I just fucking
I don't know, hot zone shot that shit, heat check it, and look, my friend Max, who's on the bench, if you look into there, he's got his arms up. He's like, what is happening here, boy? So that was the third three right there. Again, Josh inbound passing it to Doltz. Number 15, Doltz. He's basically the playmaker. This dude's freaking Chris Paul, but can also shoot it out like Steph. Again, just look at me splash that shit. Look at the bench clapping, bro. I've never seen that until now, but they start clapping like they're in freaking Wii bowling or some shit. Like, why did that look so NPC? You can see me with my hands on my face. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? How am I turning into Steph Curry right now? You can see Doltz in the middle of the court, hands on his head. He's like, what's going on? My boy Max is running past him. He's looking at him with a big smile on his face like, what is this shit? I don't know. The bench all clapping. I didn't even notice that. That's funny as, again, the ball movement here. I think this is when the other team started to give up a little bit. Like, you can see their defense is not very good. I don't know what Josh is pulling there. This guy I thought was going to guard me. I'm looking at him and I just splashed that shit. The boys are like, what is going on? Who is this guy? Again, if this isn't the most awkward shot you're ever going to see, I don't know what is. Fast break. And I just, I'm like, stop. I nearly trouble. And I chuck that shit up. Again, my mate Jack is the absolute king at doing this, where he'll just get a defender, trap them in, slap it out. And then, yeah, you can usually get on a fast break with that. So he did a backwards pass. This guy's, everyone on my team is way too goated. And it makes me look shit most weeks. Up until this week. Again, you see me running around behind all of them. They just lose track of me because they clearly don't care anymore. And I don't know how that shit went in. That was very, very lucky. This is probably my favorite shot though. Like, this shit was so contested. Like, he actually tried on that and I full splashed it in his face, which I don't think I've done that at all this season. I don't know how I ended up doing it. This is me and my mate Jack. We do this about once every game where we'll just somehow both be open. Again, he bricks the shit out of this, but we'll just be dickheads and we'll pass it back and forth because, you know, you take the shot. You're wearing 69, arguably the greatest number of all time. And again, yeah, we were up by so much here. My friend Doltz wanted to come in the game. And I literally stepped out of bounds to get this guy into the game because there hadn't been a foul in like 5 minutes. So we did that. This was the last shot of the game. 10 seconds left. I just chucked that shit up and I don't know how it went in. But I don't know. I think everyone had just, the other team had given up. As soon as they saw me start hitting shit, they were probably like, what the hell is going on? I don't want to be here. I'd rather be with my wife and 3 kids and having this freaking chubby fat kid wearing number 7 keep splashing threes on me. I mean, what is going on? Again, I think that's just what's going on here. It was a good game by the boys. I knew one of the refs, which was pretty cool to score 29 points in front of him. So I went and say hi. I had a really awkward handshake with the other ref. We cooked that a couple times. And then, yeah, just got around all the boys, my mate's partner. Yeah, game for the ages. I really don't know. I don't know. I thought I'd make a little video on this because I think it's kind of funny. But yeah, there's me hitting 29 points. Enjoy the rest of the video. Again, I'd very much like to hear all your thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section down below. What do you guys think is going to happen with all these, you know, the AFL trades, all of the above? Who's going to get traded? What's their value going to be? You know, I'd very much like to hear all your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Do not forget to go and subscribe to this channel for all that sports content and use my gaming/movie channel, which will also be getting linked in the description down below. But yeah, as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will be seeing you guys next time. Goodbye.